Okay, let's do some factorising now. Okay, now when you're factorising, that essentially means put some brackets in. And remember what we did before when we were expanding double brackets and they came out looking like this. This time we're going to work backwards and it's going to come out looking like double brackets. Okay. Now, remember, if we were to expand things like this, so if I had, x plus 3, x plus 4, and I were to expand that, for example, I'd get x squared plus 4x plus 3x, add them together, you get 7x plus 12. Now, you might notice something about these and how these relate. What's 3 add 4? What's 7? What's 3 times 4? What's 12, isn't it? Same kind of thing applies to this. So, forwards, when you're expanding, it comes out where you add those together, you get that, times them together to get that. Working backwards, we're going to try and find what times is to make that and what adds to make that. Okay? Let's work on that, shall we? So, remember what I said? It's going to be what adds together to make 9 and what multiplies together to make 18. Okay? So let's figure out what multiplies together to make 18, shall we? Let's list some of the factors of 18. We could have 1 times 18, 2 times 9, and 3 times 6, okay? And you've got to have a look and see which of those pairs adds up to make that middle number. 1 at 18 is, of course, 19. 2 at 9 is 11. 3 at 6 is our 9, okay? And so, same as before, it's going to look like it has double brackets again. So put in the double brackets first. And then you fill these in, okay? And they're both positive. Both positive, so these are both positive. Okay, same kind of thing again. What adds together to make 12? What multiplies together to make 20? Okay, we've got 1 times 20, 2 times 10 is going to be that, and 4 times 5. I'm just putting that in there just because I like it to be complete. Okay, so 12 is 2 at 10, isn't it? So add 2, add 10. Worth pointing out, it doesn't matter which way round you write these. Okay, so you could put x plus 2x plus 10, or you could put x plus 10, x plus 2. Both are correct. Okay, but that is when they've got the same signs. All right, because be careful, we'll go on to that a bit later. All right, so hopefully you understood that. Have a look at these questions. Pause the video now, give them a go, and I'm going to go through the answers. Right, hope you've had a go at these. Right, what adds together to make 11 and multiplies together to make 30? It will be x plus 5 and x plus 6. Okay, if you put plus 6 plus 5, that's fine. Okay, this one, we've got a prime number here. Okay, so if it's a prime number here, that can only be two numbers. Okay. So what times this together to make 2? It'd just be plus 1, plus 2. What's 1 and 2? Oh, it's 3. Okay, right, next up, same again. What multiplies together to make 12, but adds together to make 8? Okay, so for 12, you'll have 1 times 12, add them together, you make 13. 2 times 6, you'll get 8. That works. 2 and 6. And again, let's have a look at this one. X squared plus 21x plus 38. Well, to get 38, there's only 4 factors. So 1 times 38 and 2 times 19. And 2 at 19, of course, had to make 21. So 2 and 19. Okay, right, let's go move on to harder stuff now. I just need to make up the boards. Okay, carrying on. We're going to factorise these ones, but this time there's a negative there. There's a negative there, but these are both positive. That is the most telling part of it. If this thing at the end is positive, that means when you're making up your double brackets, you're going to have the same sign in this bit here. Whether that's both positive or both negative is another thing. Because if you remember before on the last ones, they're all positive, positive, and these were positive, positive. But this time we've got a negative and a positive. Okay. Now remember, the rule's negatives. Positive times a positive is a positive, and negative times a negative is a positive. Okay, same signs, positive, same signs, positive. Okay, so remember, you've got to find something that multiplies to make this last thing and adds to make this thing. And they've multiplied together to make a positive. So that means they've got to add together to make a negative, but multiply together to make a positive. That means they've both got to be negative in this one. Okay, I hope that was clear. The main thing you need to remember, if there's a positive there, these are the same. And if it's a negative there, they'll both be negative. Okay, so if it's negative then positive, they're both negative. Hard to explain, but you'll get the hang of it, I'm sure. So, what multiplies together to make 8? Correct, it is 2 and 4. Minus 2 and minus 4 would be, add them together would be minus 6. Okay, same kind of thing here. What would you multiply together to make minus 27? Oh, no, positive 27. But add together to make minus 12. Well, to get 27, we could have 1 times 27. We could have 3 times 9. Or, oh, that's it. So in this case, it'll be 3 and 9. Both negative in this case. Okay, now you know that. Have a go at these. Pause the video now. And then I'll go through the answers. Right, let's go through the answers. Okay, so what multiplies together to get 24? We could have 1 times 24. We could have 2 times 12. We could have 3 times 8. We could have 4 times 6. Okay, positive there, but there's a negative in this starting bit here. Okay, so these will all be negative if that's the case. Same signs. Okay, both negatives. Which of these adds together to make 11? It's the 3 and 8. Okay. To get 33, we're going to have 1 times 33, or 3 times 11, and that adds together to make 14. So x minus 11, or 3, x minus 3. There we go. Right. Let's make up some even more difficult ones now. Okay, so even more now. This one at the end is now negative. Okay, and remember, whatever we multiply together, the result here is negative. So that could be a positive times a negative gives you a negative, or a negative times a positive gives you a negative. That means the signs are going to be different. We're going to have an x plus and an x minus this time. Complicates it ever so slightly. I say ever so slightly, complicates it massively, I'd say. Remember, they've got to multiply. They've got to multiply to make minus 30 and add to make plus 7. So we've got to see what multiplies to make minus 30. We could have minus 1 times 30. We could have 1 times minus 30. We could have minus 2 times 15. 2 times minus 15, and so on. Okay, so you've got to decide which one of these would be the one to pick from. You might have seen it come up already, and I have written it down already. Right, so which of these pairs adds up to make plus 7? That makes 29 minus 29, 13 minus 13, 7, then minus 7. So it's this one. So it'll be minus 3, and then a positive 10. Okay, so that is how you would factorize this one. Step 1, you see what multiplies to make this last number. Okay, and then step 2, you see which one of those pairs adds up to make the middle number. Okay, and that's what you'd fill in here. Okay, same kind of thing again. We've got to find out what multiplies to make minus 21. So if it's got to be minus 21, it's going to be a plus and a minus again. So what multiplies together to make minus 21? Minus 1 times 21. 1 times minus 21. 2 doesn't go into it. Minus 3 times 7, or 3 times minus 7. That's all of them, okay? Add them together, you get 20, minus 20, 4, and minus 4. It's this one then, isn't it? Because we want minus 4. Okay, so we've got minus 7 and plus 3. Okay. Right, your turn again. Have a go. Okay. Have a go at these questions. Pause the video now, then I'll go through the answers. Okay, right, what multiplies to make minus 15? We could have minus 1 times 15. We could have 1 times minus 15. Minus 3 times 5. Or 3 times minus 5. Okay, which of these pairs adds together to make positive? Oops, to make positive 2. Have a think. It'll be the minus 3 and the plus 5. Okay, that's a weird looking 3. X plus 5, x minus 3. You could put x minus 3, x plus 5, but make sure that the minus is with the 3 and the plus is with the 5. Otherwise, it's wrong, I'm afraid. Okay, this one. Right, what multiplies to make minus 70? We're going to be here for a while if we keep going on with listing the factors. I'm just going to give you the answer right now. It'll be x, let's see, plus 10 and x minus 7. Because plus 10 add minus 7 would give you 3. Okay, right, minus 14. What multiplies to make minus 14? We could have minus 1 times 14, 1 times minus 14. We could have minus 2 times 7 or 2 times minus 7. Okay, let's see which one would work. Oops, that's a weird looking. Okay, right. Add them together, you get 13 minus 13, you get plus 5. This one you're going to get minus 5, so it'll be x plus 2 minus 7. Okay. And this last one, what multiplies together to make minus 27? That'll be 9 and 3. Which way round though? That's what we've got to figure out. Okay. So, to get minus 27, so minus 1 times 27, that's not going to be that. It's not going to be this either. Minus 3 times 9, or 3 times minus 9. That gives you 6. That gives you minus 6. We want minus 6. So plus 3, that's a horrible looking plus, and then minus 9. Okay, right, there's your answers. Hope that helped.